welcome back. You're tuned into Chartbusters on CNBC TV 18. Well, let's focus on one stock then. Tanla Platforms is on our radar today. Remember, the stock has done really well. It's up 11 times in the last 1 year. Uday Reddy, Chairman and CEO of the company, is joining us now to help us understand their expansion plans, new launches, and a lot more. Mr. Reddy, good morning. Thank you so much for joining us here on CNBC TV 18. Well, let me start with your expansion plans. In your analyst meet, you did say that you're planning to expand an overseas market, starting with the UAE. So tell us, what are your current revenues from the overseas market? How much more can you scale it up? And will it mean better margins for the company?
First of all, thank you for having me here. So one is we are predominantly an Indian player. Most of the revenues, or probably all of the revenues, do come only from India. So we are the market leaders in the CPaaS space in India. So we almost won 42% market revenue share in India. So we never had any. 40% of our revenues are dollar revenues, and now this is the first time we are expanding into global markets.
Okay, all right. Hi Uday, thanks so much for joining in. Well, as you mentioned, in India's communications platform as a service market, you said that you'll have more than 40%. Some part of the market is a little bit worried because you have a new player that's announced entry into that. Tata Communications, well, they have been, talking about plans to foray into this market. Do you see this as a threat?
Absolutely. I see no issue with that. In fact, we have been in this space for the last 2 decades. We are predominantly on the Tanla as a platforms company, predominantly on the telco side, and Karix, which is our subsidiary, which we acquired from Blackstone a couple of years ago. They are the market leaders. They own more than 30% of market share in the enterprise space. And between the two companies, we own more than 42% market share for more than 1 decade. And we have been serving most of the banks, insurance, retail, and e-commerce customers for more than 1 decade. So we see absolutely no challenge with foreign the companies or any other telco who's entering into the space.
Okay. Uday, actually, I wanted to come back to the overseas market. You said that you are planning expansion there. Can you give us some sense of what will this expansion look like, initial revenues that you're expecting, and will it be a higher margin business for the company?
Couple of things, right? India market size is around $800 million, right? The TAM of almost $800 million, right? And the global market is around $20 billion as you speak. The 20 is going to become $47 billion by 2023. So we being the market leader in India, we see a massive opportunity outside India. So we're pretty excited about the opportunity. That's number one, right? Number two, it's kind of dollar versus rupee, right? The transaction cost per transaction cost is very high when you compare with India. I'm talking about referring to the global market. So we are excited about 2 things: opportunity in terms of the market size, and also, yes, we see we are also equally excited on the margin expansions. Yes.
Let's get straight to that then. Uday, last year you did around 2,300 crores odd. If I go by those numbers, you're talking big numbers. Falling into the international market as well, that's another plan. For this year, what kind of a revenue number are you looking at? And also give us a sense in terms of gross margins. I believe your mix is changing favorably, which could help the expansion of margins. But is that at a bit of a risk?
So we have, as I told you earlier, we have 2 kinds of business. One is our platform side, which is where Tanla has been operating for almost 2 decades. Then we have enterprise business, which is where the Karix is a market leader. So our platforms business margins are upwards of 80%, right? And our margins on the Karix side are a little lower than 25%. Our business on the platform side, whenever we see the increase on the platform side increase, and our margins tend to increase. So whenever we see in the mix, so we tend to gain in terms of the margins.
Okay. So I just want to let's get a couple of the stock has been a big winner. You're telling us the potential of business is fabulous from here on. You've explained to us the business as well. So let's get a couple of numbers going. Last year, you saw growth of close to around 20%. You clocked around 2,350 crores on. And if I look at your EBITDA margins, well, looks like the mix changed for the best, or there were some cost-cutting measures because your margins went from around 9.5% to around 18.5%. For the coming year, that's FY22, what's the revenue growth outlook? What is the margin band that your investors, our viewers should work with? Please go ahead.
Yeah, I know that you are pushing me to share the...
I'm trying my luck, Uday. You're not helping out. I'm trying to get a couple of numbers, so you at least give us a broad band.
Yeah, so definitely our policy, we don't have any, our policy is very clear. We don't want to share any forward-looking statements. But having said that, we are pretty excited about our opportunity because we have partnered with Microsoft for our one platform strategy. And so they are our cloud partners, they are our technology partners, they are our go-to-market strategy partners. So we are pretty excited to work with Microsoft, and there's a huge opportunity for us to chase. So yes, I know that you are asking me to share the guidance. I'm afraid I cannot share.
So they give us a ballpark number. Will the margin sustain in double digits, or will be upwards of 18.5%? Just tell us that.
Yeah, absolutely right. In the sense, like, we are not here to compromise on our margins. There is no doubt about that. Okay, we are very, very conscious about our margins, and we don't want to buy any business for top line. And we are here to protect our margins.
Okay. And what about acquisitions? You have 580 crore of cash in your books. What kind of acquisitions or organic opportunity that you're looking out for?
It's a good question. In fact, we have around 560, 580 crores by end of March 2021. In fact, if you go back and look at our couple of years history, we paid almost 250 crores towards acquisitions and 180 crores towards to our shareholders towards buyback and dividend. So going forward, we are very, very disciplined about our financials. We are very conscious about our capital allocation. So we are going to utilize in three areas. One is we're going to utilize this money for our expansion plans. That's number one. The number two is we are in platforms business where it needs a bit of investment every quarter. So we are here to build platforms and products going forward. So that's number two. Number three is definitely we are looking for bolt-on acquisitions, like, meaning to say that we are not here to buy any company for numbers, but as long as we see any company which can really help us our one platform strategy in terms of the offerings, we are for it, like. But we don't want to buy any company for numbers. We are absolutely clear on that front.
Uday, it's been good speaking to you. You've created a lot of wealth for your shareholders. As you repeatedly told us, you're very excited about the business prospects. Unfortunately, we tried to get a couple of numbers from you. You seem reasonably optimistic, and we'll be happy with that for now. But we look forward to chatting with you in the coming months as well as business shapes up. Sona?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, all right. That's the word coming in from Tanla Platforms. The stock, of course, has done really well in last couple of months as well. But we'll do one thing, Nigel. We'll take a break.